Uh, We're ready to roll here. It's 8:30 or 8:31. And the Redevelopment Agency meeting of September 5th, 2012 is called to order. This meeting has been properly noticed and posted in compliance with the open meeting law. These proceedings are being video recorded as well as presented live on KCLV Cable Channel 2 and are closed captioned for our hearing impaired viewers. Please note some customers of Cox Communication who do not have a cable box may view this meeting on digital channel 89.5. The Redevelopment Agency meeting, as well as all other KCLV programming, may be viewed on the city's website at www.kclv.tv. The proceedings will be rebroadcast on KCLV Channel 2 and the web the Wednesday of the meeting at 8 p.m., also on Friday at 4 a.m., Saturday at 7 p.m., Sunday at 7 a.m., and the following Monday at 1 p.m. This building is protected by state-of-the-art fire detection and suppression sprinkler system. If the alarm should activate during today's meeting, please evacuate using the exits at the back of the chambers out to the mezzanine. Proceed out the double doors to the terrace down the back staircase. Once outside, assemble on the northeast corner across the street from City Hall at Lewis and First. Employees wearing safety vests or our city marshals will inform you when it's safe to re-enter the building. For public comment related to the items on the agenda, citizen participation and public hearing items, we have available a speaker card which you may complete and submit to the city clerk. Cards are available online in the city clerk's office or at the rear of these chambers. If you do not submit a card, it does not prevent you from speaking under this public comment, citizen participation, or specified public hearing items. If there's anyone present today who has a need for hearing impaired equipment, please see the city clerk staff. If you parked in the parking garage across the street and did not receive a validation ticket as you entered the chambers, please exit to your right and then see security personnel as you at the entrance. We will move on to item number 3. Public comment during this portion of the agenda must be limited to matters on the agenda for action. The amount of time any single speaker is allowed may be limited. All comments made will be cross-referenced to those specific items on the agenda. If anyone submitted a speaker card or wishes to speak under this portion of the agenda, please come to the podium and state your name for the record. We will set the time at 1 minute. And I see. Good morning, Mr. Harris. I could not be better.
Good morning, Council. George Harris. I'm here to speak against the item 62, which is the food truck ordinance. I never thought this would ever make it to a vote. And I think today you guys have got a challenge to give great leadership. This affects me more than it affects anybody because I have a restaurant in the World Market Center. We have a quad in the World Market Center, and I'm one of the people who invited the food trucks to come into the quad during the events because the food trucks help our business. They don't hurt our business. I will be opening up another restaurant, as you know, over in Art Square, and we will need those food trucks during the special events of First Friday. But I'm more concerned that most of these food trucks are owned and operated by young entrepreneurs, people below the age of 30. There are 2 or 3 guys or gals that get a truck and they go into business. And their very first experience with business is that government is going to step in and impede their right to do business for protectionism of a person who has some sort of restaurant or any other thing. But if you're going to vote for this item, I certainly would like to introduce another ordinance that stops all catering companies from catering anywhere within 1,000 feet of any restaurant I have. That's how ridiculous this is. And I will tell you that it's a bad precedent and it's a bad message to send these young children that, look, you come up with a new innovative idea and you put it to work, and when you start to become successful, we're going to squash it like a bug.
Thank you, Mr. Harris.
Thank you.
The minute's up, and you're welcome to come back on 62.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Anyone else, please come forward, state your name. Hearing none, the public portion is closed. We will move on to item number Oh, I'm sorry. Please come forward. This is 8:30 to 9. It's redevelopment. It's the redevelopment agency, just that portion. Everything else will start at 9. Thank you. Anyone else? All right, item number 4. May I have a motion to approve the minutes?
So moved.
There's a motion, please vote, and please post. We need every vote here today. Right. Right. We don't like our minutes, eh? Thank you very much for this vote of confidence. Those minutes pass. Moving on to item number 5. Report of declarations of interest in property located in the existing redevelopment area. Ms. Bridges. Good morning.
Bridges, City Clerk. NRS requires once a year that we enter into the record anyone that has interest in the redevelopment area. The forms were sent out to all of the council and staff members, and they're in your backup, the people that do have interest in the redevelopment area. And there is a companion item on the City Council agenda under consent that does the same thing. Both boards have to approve the report. And there is no action on it this morning.
There is no action. And has everybody reported?
Yes, ma'am. I've received everything from all the departments, all the council, and all the
From
judges.
everyone on council, their
Correct.
involvement.
Correct.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. As there is no vote needed, no motion, we'll move on to item 6. RA 12-2012, discussion for possible action regarding a resolution finding the project proposed by the Commercial Visual Improvement Program, CVIP, agreement between the City of Las Vegas Redevelopment Agency, RDA, and FC Ice House, LLC, owner and CVIP participant, located at 650 South Main Street, to be in compliance with and in furtherance of the goals and objectives of the redevelopment plan, and authorizing the execution of the CVIP agreement by RDA. This is in Ward 3 in Councilman Coffin's area, and this item is related to item number 54, R68-2012. Good morning, Mr. Arndt.
Good morning, Mayor, members of the Redevelopment Agency Board. For the record, Bill Arndt, Director, Economic and Urban Development. This item before you is part of our VIP, or Visual Improvement Program, where we give matching grants to businesses in the redevelopment area to improve their storefronts. And often is the case, the applicant and the participant is actually taking space in a vacant building, such is the case with this project. The owner, FC Ice House, LLC, purchased the building in May of this year and is relocating their office to the location on Main Street, 650 South Main Street. The owner is looking to undertake $362,000 in interior renovations and $118,000 in exterior renovations. They're looking to have 15 full-time employees. They're moving their business downtown because of the growing potential for future growth. They're looking to do, as part of the project, new signage, paint, parking lot repair, parking shade structure, windows, deck and patio improvements, landscaping and fencing. Because of the owner's investment, they are eligible for a $50,000 matching grant, with the owner putting in well over that, and we will record an easement against the property for 5 years. With us today representing the owner is Joe Kane. I'd like to invite him to make a few remarks about what they're looking to do with the property and the timeline for making the improvements.
And if I might ask a question first, Mr. Arndt, good morning.
Good morning.
On the CVIP initiatives and program, are those funds required to be repaid or are they not?
They are not required to be repaid, but we do have a match requirement. So for every dollar that the agency invests, the business has to put in at least $1. Over the life of the program, we've had businesses put in $18 for every dollar we put in. But there is a match requirement. Because it's a small amount, we do make it as a grant. And to make sure they maintain the property, we do record an easement against the property for 5 years.
Thank you very much. Good morning.
Morning, Madam Chair, members of the board. My name is Joe Kane. I am General Counsel for Fine Properties, LLC, as well as FC Ice House, LLC, which is a single-purpose entity we set up to own this property. As mentioned, we made the decision to move downtown because we love it down here. We think it's great. There's a lot of energy, and we're very bullish on the future of downtown. Just a little bit about our company. Fine Properties is to call it a headquarters for our various companies is sort of a misnomer. It's more like a shared services company where people like myself, who's the general counsel for the company that sort of manages and runs all these different businesses, work for Fine Properties. Fine Properties operates several businesses throughout the valley. Some of the ones you may know are Coffee Bean and Tea Leaf. We have 15 stores throughout the valley. Jamba Juice, 10 stores. Through our Lev Restaurant Group, we have a couple I Love Burgers locations. We do some real estate development through Jeff Fine, who owns the company, and Mark Fine, and various other things. And like I said, Fine Properties is sort of where we run our central headquarters out of. So all of our employees are now operating out of this building. One of the things that attract us to downtown was obviously the support that the city provides through the Redevelopment Agency and other mechanisms to sort of promote the future of this area. And we are actually in the building already, so the interior improvements that were mentioned have already been done. We repurposed the ice house, redeveloped it, if you will. As you're all aware, that building sat on the market for a long time, and the price continued to decline. I think a lot of restaurant/nightclub users kicked the tires to see if they could make a go of it, but because of parking and other issues, nobody bit on it. And then we came along, had a different vision for it. We said this would be a great office location given its location, and we liked the exterior of the building, and so we decided that if we just fixed up the inside, we could really make it a nice office, which is what we've done. So that, like I mentioned, the interior stuff is done on the ground floor. We still have some things to do upstairs, and we were waiting to do improvements on the exterior pending the outcome of this item to make sure that we can meet our budget, and we'll basically completely revitalize the outside, paint, patch. I mean, there's a lot of graffiti and damage to the exterior. There's some vandalism where people had gone in and ripped out, piping and all that kind of stuff. So you can see from the rendering, we'll have new signage, new paint, new landscaping, some covered parking, seal and restripe the parking lot, pretty much make it look as good as new.
Are you retaining the name on it, or will that come down?
The present plan is to keep the Ice House name on there just because it's an iconic building. When I was a young lawyer working downtown at Lionel Sawyer and Collins, that was sort of our hangout. So my office is now where my favorite bar stool used to be, which is kind of funny, but not really. But we did hang out there. But yeah, I think we're going to keep the name just because everybody knows the name, the Ice House. We'll take the martini glass off just because it's not a place where you can go for libations anymore. It's an office building, but I think we will keep that sign and then just add our own signage, as you can see on the rendering there on that column for our different businesses. So.
And the plans for the first floor, any?
Well, the first floor is completely redone. I invite all of you to stop by and take a look. I mean, you wouldn't recognize the place. You walk in and it looks like it was always an office building. It's pretty amazing. We have not touched the kitchen yet because we are a restaurant company, so we have 30-odd restaurant food and beverage outlets throughout the valley. So we think that might be a good spot for a commissary kitchen for us as a prep kitchen, maybe to do some catering and stuff down the future, because the kitchen is basically intact. I mean, they left all the equipment and everything, and with a little TLC and repair, we think we can light it up again. So the kitchen's still there, the rest of it's office, and then the upstairs we're going to convert to more office too. We just don't have a need for it just yet.
So if there were entertainment, would that have to be special event, Ms. Starr, or not? If they use that with some continuous activity, do they have to have a special event license, or is that contained in the building and everything's?
Mayor, I think that would depend on the use. Probably if it's a one-time event, probably a special event permit. If it was an ongoing use, I would probably require a special use permit. It does have commercial zoning, so there are a lot of different opportunities long-term.
Okay, thank you. Any questions, comments, council? Okay, is there a motion? Oh, excuse me. Mr. Beers, Councilman, are you all right?
Yeah, but Mr. Kane spoke of being a young attorney as a past event.
Are you ready for him?
I'm not sure.
Councilman Coffin. Do you want to do it with the mic on?
Well, then, now that the mic is on, I move for approval.
Thank you.
Thank you.
There's a motion, and please vote. And please post. Welcome back to downtown.
Tell Mark you
And
barely
put
made
your
it.
stool in your office. Always keep those things. Oscar has his throne
That's right.
down in his office, so you keep your stool.
We love it
Thank
down here. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Motion carries. And we'll move on to item number 7, citizen participation. Public comment during this portion of the agenda must be limited to matters within the jurisdiction of the redevelopment agency. No subject may be acted upon by the redevelopment agency unless that subject is on the agenda and is scheduled for action. If you wish to be heard, come to the podium, please. Give your name for the record. The amount of discussion on any single subject, as well as the amount of time any single speaker is allowed, may be limited. Is there anyone wishing to speak under this portion of the agenda? Hearing none, we'll move on to number 8. Agency member recognition. Comments made by individual agency members during this portion of the agenda will not be acted upon by the agency unless that subject is on the agenda and scheduled for action. Is there any member of the redevelopment agency who wishes to speak under this portion of the agenda? Hearing none, this redevelopment agency is adjourned, and we will start our council meeting in 12 minutes at 9 o'clock. Thank you very much.